Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the latest Logistics Business webinar, a series in which business leaders from across the logistics sector share their knowledge and experience. Today's Logistics Business webinar is brought to you by French warehouse automation group Fives. With a history it can trace back over 200 years, Fives designs and supplies leading-edge machines, process equipment, and production lines for a variety of industry sectors. My name is Peter McLeod. I'm the editor of Logistics Business magazine, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our two speakers today. Firstly, hello to Fabio Sacchi, who's the new application director at Fives. Hi, Fabio.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Fives designs and automated solutions for material sorting. Its sorting technologies have become market standards for many applications in various markets. We're also joined today by one of Fives' valued customers, Fabrizio Oleari. He's the CEO of SNATT Logistica. Good morning, Fabrizio.
Morning. Good morning. Thank you.
SNATT Logistica is an Italian 3PL logistics service provider specialized in the fashion sector with the know-how and experience to better manage the logistics activities for the distribution of apparel lines, including footwear and accessories. Welcome to you both. Now, before we get into the project that we would like to discuss today, let me just give a little brief introduction as to how we've reached this position today. Over all the years I've been writing about logistics, I've consistently said it's the most dynamic, exciting, yet challenging business to be involved with. When I look back to the early years of this century, when warehouse automation was starting to make a serious name for itself, back then the technology was geared towards fulfilling retail stores. Moving and storing whole pallets was the name of the game back then. The growth of e-commerce triggered an acceleration to adopt automated systems as we moved first to carton picking and then to individual item picking. Smart retailers turned to smart suppliers such as Fives to help them stay ahead of the curve. The term intralogistics was coined, covering all technologies that sit under a warehouse roof, and suddenly a whole new subgenre of logistics was born. This new dynamic world strove to anticipate consumer habits, showing particular strength and dexterity when shoppers started to demand next day, then same day, and then sometimes next hour deliveries. It revolutionized and revitalized intralogistics. The challenges mostly centered around fast, accurate, and cost-effective fulfillment, along with expedient handling of returns. In order to best serve customers, particularly those located in densely populated urban areas, businesses started to decentralize their fulfillment networks. The battle to optimize the last mile of the delivery process started to rage and continues to this day. And then came COVID, and it's not an exaggeration to say the whole world changed. Systems that had previously been operating at maximum capacities pre-pandemic were suddenly put under tremendous strains by the spike in e-commerce. Those warehouses relying most heavily on labor found themselves caught out by the lockdown regulations, while those with robust, scalable, automated fulfillment solutions were able to thrive and prosper. Post-pandemic, we face an ongoing labor shortage, which has led to an increased need for automation, even in smaller warehouses. Fives has responded proactively to this trend, shaping its automation to suit the needs of the warehouse of today and anticipating the needs of the warehouse of tomorrow. Over the years, Fives has developed a comprehensive ecosystem of smart and automated systems. And today we're going to focus on a particular area of its warehouse automation, the GENI-Ant autonomous mobile robot sorter, an intelligent solution that leverages autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs, within large distribution centers, small depots, and final sortation points. And I'd like to throw the questions over to my guests now. And the first one goes to Fabio Sacchi. Fabio, why did Fives decide to invest, why did Fives decide to invest in AMR technology for sorting? And can you tell us a little bit more about the GENI-Ant solution, please?
Yeah, to meet the needs of the customers that faced with increasing logistic complexity and labor shortages, Fives has introduced a new smart concept and a new smart robot-based concept. that is the GENI-Ant sorter. Is a sorter with vehicles that moves inside a working area. Can be loaded manually or automatically. Can carry up to 2 items per each vehicle and deliver to the proper chute. It's 1.3 meter tall, one of the tallest, I think, in the market. And we have decided to design at this height to avoid as much as possible the use of platforms or mezzanine. So we can sort directly into totes, but also cages and other accumulation slides. Can be loaded manually or automatically, as I said. And another innovation that we have in this sorter is the recharging on the fly. What is during the operations, the vehicles never have to stop. So by using recharging bars that are put on the floor close to the induction area, while they pass through during the loading operations, they also pick up the current they have lost, the energy they have lost during the previous mission. So they can work 24 hours a day without the need to stop for the recharging out of the working area. And this helps to design the solution with a certain number of vehicles without including any swap robots to maintain always the operation up and running.
So for businesses busy leading 3PL such as SNATT, Fabrizio, automation is already an important part of your operation. You've been investing in it for already many years, for example, in cross-belt equipment. So what were the challenges that your business was facing that led you to turn to the GENI-Ant solution?
Yes, mainly the possibility to automate the sorting phase also in effectively in for smaller project, smaller volume, because cross-belt is a technology design, and we use cross-belt along many years, but there is a minimum critical mass that require the cross-belt, while GENI-Ant, thanks to his more flexibility and scalability capacity, we can introduce also in smaller volume projects. And due to the circumstance that we are specialized in medium high fashion brands, this can be a solution to introduce a partial automation also for this kind of fashion brands.
And working in the fashion industry, of course, it's very important that the items are handled with care. And does GENI-Ant give you the opportunity to do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. For this, the GENI-Ant has the same capacity of the cross-belt, so we can handle gently flat garment, but also, for example, shoes or other accessories. And this, of course, is a fundamental condition to use this kind of automation in sorting for our industry.
It's a very interesting industry, Fabrizio. Can you tell us a little bit more about it, about the business you're in, the way that you set up your warehouse operations, where the Fives technology is installed, and the sort of volumes and the size and shape of the products that are passing through your warehouse, please?
SNATT is an organization, is a company. We name it as a small multinational because we are present with operation in Europe, in Far East and in the US. And because our presence has to be in the geography where the high fashion brands has the most important markets. We grow up with our customers, helping them to develop in those geographies. About automation, we started using a sorting automation system with Fives since I think 20 years ago. Now worldwide we have 10 sorter machines. 2 of them are GENI-Ant. Again, GENI-Ant coming to GENI-Ant, the main motivation lead us to try and then to use steadily this kind of solution is we can, for example, install GENI-Ant also in a multi-floor warehouse in Hong Kong, where we are since 25 years ago. Of course, installing a more rigid automatic solution in this kind of environment would be practically impossible. Another consideration, we can start with GENI-Ant with a certain capacity, with, for example, 30 robots, but we can add 10 robots to afford the peak season. And this kind of flexibility is very easy to reach. Doesn't have many physical constraints, and this is very interesting because our industry is more and more a matter of affording the peaks. When I talk about peaks, it's not only peaks over the month, but are peaks over weeks by weeks and day by days within the same week.
That's an interesting challenge, and flexible automation can help you overcome that. I'd like to ask you also, I'm referencing a warehouse I visited many years ago, which only sold shoes, and they knew that their boxes at the minimum size was this, and at the maximum size was that. And it was really easy to order to design an automation system around that. But with you, you have, I imagine, very, very small boxes, and then something which would be completely different. For example, a long dress. So how does your system code shapes of items passing through it?
Yeah, of course. It's impossible to manage 100% of the variety of the products of our customer in the same way. So for us, we know that there are physical measures to respect, and let's say it's important that a sorting solution, automated sorting solution, manage, let's say, the 70%, 80% of the range of the product inside the total mix. It's not important to touch the 100%. We don't believe in total automation. We believe in smart automation, and our aim is not to use GENI-Ant for 100% of the product. This is not important for us. It's important that the portion of the business that we decide to handle due to the physical constraint of the single product that can be managed by the GENI-Ant are managed carefully with a continuity of production, no interaction, the capacity that is guaranteed daily, by hour, by day. So this kind of feature we appreciate.
And so on the boxes that you can process through GENI-Ant, compared with manual processing, how has the implementation of the GENI-Ant changed the speed of the business?
The GENI-Ant, you mentioned, for example, to sort garments is easier than to sort footwear.
Oh,
very
okay.
easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take the challenge of footwear, because is easier to sort flat garment. Let's take the case of footwear. We have a project with them that is 100% footwear. Okay, so sorting footwear manually instead of sorting with GENI-Ant is not a matter of improving dramatically the hourly capacity. Is the very important advantage for us is to have a machine that guarantee, instead of manpower, a steady capacity along every day, and even for example 2 or 3 shifts per day, if we want to increase the capacity during the piece. So the advantage of this solution compared to a manual solution for us is not the hourly capacity, is the total capacity.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Fabio, Fabrizio talked about the flexibility. So I'd be interested to hear from you what the advantages are of the GENI-Ant compared to, for example, other traditional sorting technologies.
Yeah. So as Fabrizio said, it touched the most important features. He talked about the scalability, the flexibility, especially in the layout also. Then I would add also the footprint and the power consumption that since we are all very committed to reduce carbon footprint, we also look at this point. So scalability, because when Fabrizio has decided to invest in GENI-Ant, one of the topic was the volume, starting with a high capacity sorter, traditional sorter. The investment was important, but the starting volume were very, very low, or let's say lower than the capacity of a sorter. So we have decided together to investigate in the best solution to start with a volume that can increase organically during over the years, but also to face with the peak season. So the GENI-Ant is perfect because we have decided to start with a capacity given by 20 robots that can increase up to the double during the peak or when they will need. So the initial investment was extremely reduced, and this is also an important fact. Then there is another point, that is the footprint. The footprint of the GENI-Ant, you can imagine we have here a capacity of that can reach 5,000 packages per hour on 240 destinations, but we have only a footprint of 700 square meters. That is impossible with a traditional sort. That is thanks to fleet manager that make the vehicles extremely efficient. So we don't need that many robots. So less robot, less traffic, less footprint. And this is another important solution. Then the layout. We in the future we can also change the layout by growing the warehouse when they will have more items to handle. We can extend, and we can also change the shape without, and this is without disrupting the operation, because we take just a few days to do the modification. And then, as I said, there is the power consumption, that a sorter like this that is working for 2 shifts, it has a power consumption of less than 10 kilowatt per hour. And this is another important topic. Then another point is the gentle handling. One of the requirements for the customer of SNATT was to have, since our luxury shoes, to have a very gentle handling without any scratch on the box, not to compromise the design. And this is partly possible with the manual handling, because the human can make mistakes sometimes, but we see always the same type of operation. So there is the loading by automatic induction lines. So the operator touch only one time the box loading, and then the second time when it put in the final package. The GENI-Ant know what is carrying, also the angle on how it is loaded on the belt on top of the vehicle, and can reduce the speed and even stop when has to sort. This guarantees this is not possible with any other kind of sorter, because there is only one single speed. And this we can also imagine applied to other industries, like, I don't know, grocery. You can imagine sort at high capacity a box of bottle of wine, or a carton box of eggs. That's not possible. But with the GENI-Ant it is, because it's very clever. We know what we are carrying, and we can decide the speed, the acceleration, and how to handle the items.
So what sort of operations within the warehouse does the GENI-Ant optimize?
So it has, it can optimize many different operations. For instance, for the application of the 3PL, we have seen that also we can carry multiple type of objects. Not only flat garments or footwear, but also we can imagine access. Just changing the type of belt, we can use special belt with edges around that can contain, for instance, objects that can fall during the navigation, during the cruise. This is another optimization. So they also can load something that is called not conveyable, is small and not conveyable. If we think also to other type of business like postal and courier, one of the needs of this customer is to go very close to the town center. And of course, you cannot find warehouses. You can find buildings that can be adapted to warehouses, and especially that building were not designed for automation. So the GENI-Ant can easily adapt to the layout, to the shape of what they find. So they can go very close to the town center and be sure that the automation that we design, it fits with the area, because we can shape the layout based on the needs. This is another example. Then there is also the fluctuation of the volumes for the peak. We can add robots when are needed, or there is also another possibilities. When customer has more than one GENI-Ant, we can move capacity from one sorter to another. by taking robots from one sorter and move to another place, another warehouse, they can increase the capacity without also buying new vehicles, but just swapping the capacity. And this is another optimization. And then there is the automatic loading. That is a feature that in the market we think to be the only to have, especially the on-the-fly loading. This comes from our experience on the cross-belt sorter. So we use the same strategy of loading on the fly without stopping the vehicle to be loaded manually. So this is basically some points of the optimization.
So if Fabrizio wants to shake your hand today and order a new GENI system, how long is he going to have to wait for you to produce and deliver that? And also, what are the installation requirements? Is there going to be any disturbance around the installation of the GENI?
Yeah. So we need around 7. First of all, that this moment is not easy for the production because the source of some components is still critical. But today we can guarantee the production in 7 months, and within 2 months we can other 2 months we do the delivery and installation. But by the end of this year, we aim to deliver a turnkey system within 6-7 months in order to. There is no need to stop the operations. We just need the area where do the installation. So we come, we install the induction if are automatic. We design the layout with the QR code on the floor, and we install the chutes. There is not that much wiring, and everything is pre-configured in our factory. So in just a few weeks, the customer is ready to go.
And for businesses looking at the GENI-Ant to optimize their operations, what sort of performance can they expect, and what are the dimensions of the products it can ideally handle?
So the maximum capacity that we can achieve is 6,000 items per hour. For packages or items that can go from 15 times 15 centimeters up to 120 centimeters times 70 centimeters, and 30 kilos as weight. Mm-hmm. We are also able to customize and design some other applications and some tailored vehicles or belts to cope with the special needs of our customers.
And Fabrizio, what are your thoughts? Would you recommend the GENI-Ant solution to other warehouse operators?
First of all, for us, given our experience, is not only a matter of recommending a specific technology that, of course, for us is positive. So my answer is of course easy to understand what is. Point that is much important is recommending also the person that are around the technology, because yes, introducing a technology is a complex activity that, of course, rely a lot, again, on the technology itself. And we commented a lot the advantages that are very clear, and I don't want to repeat, but given the complexity of the technology, to deliver such fantastic result in terms of scalability, flexibility, reduction of space that are very important. So to reduce the minimum, the level, the critical mass to introduce an automation, because this is the change of GENI-Ant, given our experience. But to do all this is fundamental that the user, the customer, and the producer of the technology, they have a very strong relationship, and they help each other in introducing the technology since the various phase, from the installation, from the fine-tuning, and then during the utilization of the technology, because we can, thanks to FIV, improve day by day the performance that we obtain from the same technology, thanks to the continuous service improvement that we can obtain. For example, our MS, that is an internal WMS, is interfaced with the machine, and this is fundamental. Just to make you understand that it's not only a matter of specific technology that is fundamental, is very important, but the implementation of it requires the capacity from FIV, from the producer, to guarantee the service. This is the combination of the two, in our experience, is the guarantee of the success.
And it does sound like that has been a success. I'm going to ask Fabio a final question, and just looking ahead, Fabio, what do you think the future is of the GENI-Ant?
Okay, so I expect, of course, a bright future for the GENI-Ant. So now we have some installations over Europe and US in different application and different industries. But for fulfillment in retail, distribution, and then also postal and courier, we expect a growing sales of our application, but always with the eye on the needs of the customer. For instance, every product, but especially this one with this cutting-edge technology, is in a continuous evolution. So will be soon be also able to work together with the operator coming out of the bonded area. Will be smarter, for instance, recognizing there are problems on some components, and without asking that to the operator, he can take the vehicle can take the decision to park automatically in a dead lane if something happens, so we have not to disrupt the operation, and also to recognize the surrounding and the external surrounding in case there are some objects on the path that needs to be avoided. This is one of the examples, but is in continuous evolution. Will be also designed to carry other type of parcel, but it will always remain a sorter. So a vehicle that is able to receive manually or automatically an object and deliver to the final destination without the intervention of any human.
Fabio and Fabrizio, thank you both for your insightful and engaging conversation today, and in particular because English isn't your first language. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I wish you both great mutual success with your ongoing business.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It just remains for me to thank you, dear viewer, for watching this Logistics Business podcast, brought to you by FIV. Please follow us online at logisticsbusiness.com and across our social media channels to stay up to date with the news and information from the global logistics industry. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.